Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. While the events of Black Wednesday have some fans and wrestlers questioning Vince McMahon's loyalty to his wrestlers, there's no denying certain WWE superstars have been extremely loyal to Vinnie Mac. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 superstars who were fiercely loyal to Mr. McMahon. What's Wrestlemania's criteria for loyalty? As we'll see, nearly every one of these wrestlers has been with the WWE since their career began or when they first jumped to WWE. However, not everyone who has remained in the WWE has always been loyal. For example, while Shawn Michaels has been with the WWE since 1988, he and Marty Jannetty had a brief run in 1987 but were fired, he hasn't always been loyal. You may recall that after Kevin Nash and Scott Hall left the WWF for WCW, Michaels asked for his release. Wrestling lore also has it that the Heartbreak Kid wasn't happy with his payouts either, few people were around this time, and was eager to head to the golden shores of WCW. Mr. WrestleMania has spent his entire career in the WWE, but his loyalty is doubtful in WrestleLamia's opinion. In fact, our Cyberdyne mainframe computed Michaels' loyalty to be a paltry 26%. Incredible! With that in mind, loyalty is not only staying with the WWE, but doing so at times when, quite frankly, Mr. McMahon might act like a jerk. These wrestlers have stuck with McMahon in WWE throughout the lean years and the good years, showing that they trust him to guide their careers and do what's not only good for business, but ultimately for them. Number 1. The Undertaker. When it comes to longevity, nobody comes close to The Undertaker in terms of how long he's faithfully served Vince McMahon. Since his 1990 Survivor Series debut, The Undertaker has been a regular figure in the WWE, with occasional absences due to injuries, even competing until today. It's clear that Undertaker has been loyal to Vince McMahon because McMahon took him on at a time when WCW booker Ole Anderson told Mark Calaway he'd never be a success. Vince McMahon brought Calaway in and proved WCW wrong, with The Undertaker becoming one of WWE's greatest stars ever. Wrestling rumor has it that WCW was interested in bringing Taker into the company as the millennium closed out, and he passed, choosing to stay with WWE. As crazy as it may seem, the WWE has not always rewarded The Undertaker, as seen when he announced that he was making personal appearances, reportedly for an incredible $100,000 an hour, only for the WWE to realize its mistake and sign him to an exclusive contract. Number 2. John Cena. John Cena wasn't always the face that runs the place, and as fans learned during the Firefly Funhouse, Cena's early run in WWE didn't look as if it was going to be a success, with some believing that the only thing that kept him in the company was his phenomenal physique. As we know, Cena struck gold with his Doctor of Thugonomics persona, and it was all good from there, with the WWE choosing Cena to be their number 1 babyface. Cena ran with it, toning down his act into a family-friendly one, even as some fans booed him for it, but always staying loyal to WWE. Cena has consistently followed Vince McMahon's direction with one goal in mind, making the WWE money and leading it through whatever challenges came up. Cena always has time for the WWE, even as his career has slowed down and he's found extensive work in Hollywood. He took the time to work at WrestleMania 36's Firefly Funhouse match, putting Bray Wyatt over, and he's gone on record repeatedly to say how much he owes to Vince McMahon. Number 3. John Bradshaw Layfield. Since his WWF debut in 1995, John Bradshaw Layfield has been a loyal soldier in the WWE, working with whatever gimmicks the WWE has set out for him. Behind the scenes, JBL, along with APA partner Farouk, served as locker room enforcers led by The Undertaker, helping the locker room to police itself. When Vince McMahon needed a main eventer on SmackDown, he repackaged the brawler Bradshaw into stock market maven JBL, with JBL enjoying a lengthy world title reign. JBL has served as color commentator as well, always ready when Vince McMahon needs him. Although JBL has been busy with humanitarian work, he found time to return to the WWE when the promotion needed a color commentator during its empty arena shows. Number 4. Kane. anyone who doubts Glenn Jacobs' loyalty to WWE need look no further than the incredibly lame gimmicks he's worked through in the WWE without grumbling, beginning with his stint as Isaac Yankem, the evil doctor of dentistry, and later as the fake Diesel when WWE tried to recreate Scott Hall and Kevin Nash's famous characters of Razor Ramon and Diesel. Jacobs did what he was asked, and his loyalty paid off when he was brought in to play The Undertaker's kayfabe brother Kane. Although Kane has since had some stupid storylines of his own, including the infamous Katie Vick angle, as well as the fake Kane, he's always been ready to perform whatever storyline the WWE has for him. Number 5. Mark Henry. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, has been with the WWE since they signed him to an incredible 10-year, $10 million contract back in 1996, impressed with Henry's amateur weightlifting career, strongman career, and legitimate Olympic competition. However, the WWE seemed to have sticker shock and put Henry into some embarrassing angles, including one where he hooked up with a transvestite, and his later much-remembered storyline romance with Mae Young, which led to Young getting pregnant and giving birth to a hand. Fans and wrestling writers wondered whether the WWE was getting Henry to quit, thus freeing the WWE from his long-term contract. Henry stuck with the WWE through all of this and worked with them when they sent him to Ohio Valley Wrestling to improve. Following a hiatus where he won the Arnold Classic Strongman title in 2002, he returned to the WWE, bigger and more focused than ever. Henry proved he was just a late bloomer, making up for lost time with an ECW Championship and World Heavyweight Championship reign that proved he was the real deal. Henry stayed with the WWE, entering its Hall of Fame in 2018. Number 6. The Big Show. After luring Paul the Giant White from WCW, the WWE had difficulty booking him. Whether it was the WWE doing what it often does with stars from other promotions, burying them, or simply didn't know how to book such a big man, the show's early WWF run was erratic at best. The Big Show has stayed faithful to the WWE despite some incredible ups and downs. Big Show's career has been marked by incredible highs, with him winning both the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship 2 times, and becoming a Triple Crown and Grand Slam champion. At the same time, he's also had some incredible lows, including doing the job to more than a few questionable opponents, and a career marked by so many face and heel turns that he's often cited as wrestling's patron saint of turns. Through it all, the Big Show has done what he's been asked to do, whether it's losing weight, participating in embarrassing storylines, or turning heel and babyface at the drop of the proverbial hat. Number 7. Randy Orton. Third-generation wrestler Randy Orton is a member of the famous WWE class of 2002 that saw the debuts of eventual main eventers including Orton, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and Batista. As Wrestlelamia recently discussed, Randy Orton was one of several superstars considered when the WWE was looking for its next big babyface, with John Cena getting the spot. Nevertheless, Orton has had a solid run in WWE, serving as one of the promotion's best heels. Although Orton excels as a heel, he's played a babyface when asked, even if it isn't his strong suit. Whether it's Orton letting Brock Lesnar knock him silly at 2016 SummerSlam, or Orton passing on a big money contract to sign with AEW, he's done what he's been asked and stayed faithful to the WWE. Number 8. Edge. From his earliest days in WWE, Adam Copeland possessed a great look and incredible ability in the ring that made it clear he would eventually become a top performer. Following his main roster debut in 1998, Edge progressed up the ranks of the WWE's tag team division alongside storyline brother Christian, eventually becoming a main eventer before repeated neck injuries forced him to retire in 2011. Following his retirement and 2012 Hall of Fame induction, the Rated R superstar made occasional appearances on WWE TV, but remained off camera as he pursued other projects, including acting and podcasting with Christian. During a 2017 episode of the Edge and Christian podcast, Edge revealed he considered leaving WWE for TNA when his WWE contract was coming up around 2008 or 2009. According to Edge, TNA's lighter schedule, as well as the chance to work new opponents, was enticing.
The idea that you were there, those were, and the opponents. I was like, if I went there, there's Joe, there's AJ, there's a lot of fresh things to do. But for whatever reason, from day one, WWE felt like my home. It felt like the place that I'd always wanted to get to.
Edge's loyalty to the company that made him a superstar was tested again when Edge realized he could wrestle again due to an unexpected physical improvement, and the newly launched All Elite Wrestling contacted him about coming to work for them. Edge could have signed with AEW for big money and a light schedule, but he chose to stay in the WWE, which made him an equally, if not better, offer. Number 9. The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, but he's never forgotten where things started, working in the WWE as the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. When The Rock was offered a role in The Scorpion King, it's doubtful anyone could imagine how quickly he would become one of Hollywood's most sought-after action heroes. Through the years, there have been rumors that Vince McMahon was unhappy when The Rock's Hollywood success made it clear he was never coming back as a full-time performer. Whether or not this is true, The Rock has always been quick to show up to make a special appearance in the WWE, despite an incredibly busy Hollywood schedule. The Rock has also made it clear that he hasn't retired yet, so don't rule out one last big match for the People's Champion. Who knows how much he owes the WWE, and who sees Vince McMahon as a father figure and a friend. Number 10. Triple H. Triple H may seem like a ridiculous pick as he's married to Stephanie McMahon, but the game's loyalty was first shown when he nearly lost his job in the WWE following Madison Square Garden's infamous curtain call in 1996. The much-discussed incident saw Helmsley, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall break kayfabe as Nash and Hall prepared to leave the WWF for WCW. Triple H bore the brunt of Vince's wrath, losing his spot as the 1996 King of the Ring winner and having to prove himself all over following his WWF debut in 1995. Triple H took his punishment with humility, impressing the locker room and Vince McMahon. Triple H would have to prove himself again when he began dating Stephanie, again earning McMahon's respect. While Triple H may seem like he's had it easy, rumor has it he recently suffered a demotion backstage, and he continues to do whatever asked while acting as a loyal confidant to Vinnie Mac. Short of Helmsley being caught in bed with Vince's wife Linda, there's little chance of him leaving the WWE, but his past loyalty and current willingness to do whatever is required show he's one of the WWE's most loyal wrestlers. Yes, there's a built-in loyalty due to his marriage with Stephanie, but there's much more to it than that. Well guys, there you have it, the 10 most loyal wrestlers in the WWE. Do you agree with our picks? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.